Good morning. Let's begin our service by singing hymn number 64. From sense to soul, my pathway lies before me. From mist and shadow into truth's clear day, the dawn of all things real is breaking o'er me. My heart is singing, I have found the way. Hymn number 64. The Scriptural this morning will be given by Wendy from Georgia.
Isaiah, I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God. Psalms, make a joyful noise unto God, all ye lands. Sing forth the honor of his name. Make his praise glorious. O bless our God, ye people, and make the voice of his praise to be heard, which holdeth our soul in life, and suffereth not our feet to be moved. Come and hear, all ye that fear God. I will declare what he hath done for my soul. I cried unto him with my mouth, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. But verily God hath heard me. He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, who hath not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me.
We will now have a moment of silent prayer and repeat together the Lord's Prayer with its spiritual interpretation as given in the Christian Science textbook. Our Father, which art in heaven. Our Father, Mother God, all harmonious. Hallowed be thy name. Adorable One, thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom is come. Thou art ever present. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Enable us to know, as in heaven, so on earth, God is omnipotent, supreme. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us grace for today. Feed the famished affections. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And love is reflected in love. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And God leadeth us not into temptation, but delivereth us from sin, disease, and death. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. For God is infinite, all power, all life, truth, love, over all and all. Let's now sing hymn number 237. Oh, may we be still and seek him, seek with consecration whole, listening thus to hear the message, far from sense and hid in soul. Hymn number 237.
Oh, may
Welcome to the Sunday morning service of the Plainfield Christian Science Church Independent. We begin each Sunday morning here at 10 a.m. with our roundtable discussion. And if you missed the one this morning, you'll want to check it out on our website, plainfieldcs.com. Also on Sundays at 11 a.m., we have a Sunday school for children, which is conducted via a teleconference phone number so that any child anywhere in the world can attend. And we have a testimony meeting every Wednesday evening at 8:15, where you can hear testimonies of healings and lives saved through the study and practice of Christian Science. And we have a nursery available for the very, very young ones at all of our services. You can find us not only here in Plainfield, New Jersey, but also on our website, plainfieldcs.com. We have a channel on YouTube, and we've got a lot of stuff on SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can listen to our services either on our website, on YouTube, or from a telephone conference number that we provide for that purpose. And on our website, there's an article I would like to point out that I consider to be very, very helpful. It's entitled Health Development. Now, that may sound a little strange, but it's a really good article by Peter V. Ross, featured on our website. And let's see, we will have another Bible study class next Saturday morning, so check the website for Bible study questions, and please join us Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Everyone is welcome here, and that includes all of you who are listening and participating from around the world. And now we will have the reading of a testimony from Miscellaneous writings, which attests to the healing power obtained by studying the Christian Science textbook. And that reading will be given this morning by Pam from Virginia.
Page 413. For the cause of truth, I submit the following testimonial for publication. May it bring one more at least into the fold of divine science. The truth as it is stated in Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures has done much towards making our home the abiding place of peace and harmony. I now write of the wonderful demonstration of truth over the birth of my baby boy 2 weeks ago. Sunday, September 23rd, we went for a long drive of 3 hours. At night, I retired at the usual hour. Toward morning, I was given a little warning. When I awoke at 7 o'clock, the birth took place. Not more than 10 minutes after, I ate a hearty breakfast and then had a refreshing sleep. At 10 o'clock, walked across the room while my bed was dressed. At 12, took a substantial dinner. Most of the afternoon sat up in bed without any support but truth. At 6 in the evening, dressed myself and walked to the dining room and remained up for 2 hours. Next morning, I arose at the usual hour and have kept it up ever since. Was not confined to my bed one whole day. The second day was out walking in the yard, and the third day went for a drive in the morning and received callers in the afternoon. If it had not been for the presence of my young hopeful, it would have been hard to believe that there had so recently been a belief of a birth in the house. But then I was sustained by love and had no belief of suffering to take my strength away. Before baby was 2 weeks old, I cooked, swept, ran the sewing machine and so forth, assisted with the housework generally, How grateful I am for the obstetrics of this grand science. Mothers need no longer listen to the whispering lies of the old serpent, for the law of mortal mind is broken by truth. Mrs. Dora Hosick, Carrollton, Missouri.
The lesson sermon for this morning can be found on page 14 of the Independent Christian Science Quarterly. Subject, soul. The golden text is from 1 Samuel. The Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. The responsive reading is from Psalms. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to
deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine.
Our soul waiteth for the Lord. He is our help and our shield.
For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name.
I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth.
My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad.
I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears.
My soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation.
Elizabeth from Georgia will now read.
The Bible. Psalms. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. I wait for the Lord. My soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord, more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. 1 Samuel. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together, and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose, and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted, and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine, and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. And Saul said to him, Whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse the Bethlehemite. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David, and Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore, I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, Let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee very good. And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan. And Saul sware, As the Lord liveth, he shall not be slain. And Jonathan called David. And Jonathan showed him all those things. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence, as in times past. Proverbs. The integrity of the upright shall guide them. Psalms. Unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Lord.
I will read correlative passages from the Christian Science textbook, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. The divine mind is the soul of man and gives man dominion over all things. Man was not created from a material basis, nor bidden to obey material laws which spirit never made. His province is in spiritual statutes, in the higher law of mind. Man is the reflection of soul. He is the direct opposite of material sensation, and there is but one ego. We run into error when we divide soul into souls, multiply mind into minds, and suppose error to be mind, then mind to be in matter, and matter to be a lawgiver, unintelligence to act like intelligence, and mortality to be the matrix of immortality. We cannot deny that life is self-sustained, and we should never deny the everlasting harmony of soul, simply because, to the mortal senses, there is seeming discord. It is our ignorance of God, the divine principle, which produces apparent discord, and the right understanding of Him restores harmony. There is moral freedom in soul. Moral and spiritual might belong to Spirit, who holds the wind in His fists, and this teaching accords with science and harmony. In science, you can have no power opposed to God, and the physical senses must give up their false testimony. Your influence for good depends upon the weight you throw into the right scale. The good you do and embody gives you the only power obtainable. Evil is not power. It is a mockery of strength, which ere long betrays its weakness and falls, never to rise. Moral courage is the lion of the tribe of Judah, the king of the mental realm. Free and fearless it roams in the forest. Undisturbed it lies in the open field, or rests in green pastures beside the still waters. In the figurative transmission from the divine thought to the human, diligence, promptness, and perseverance are likened to the cattle upon 1,000 hills. They carry the baggage of stern resolve and keep pace with highest purpose. There is too much animal courage in society and not sufficient moral courage. Christians must take up arms against error at home and abroad. They must grapple with sin in themselves and in others and continue this warfare until they have finished their course. If they keep the faith, they will have the crown of rejoicing. But how shall we reform the man who has more animal than moral courage, and who has not the true idea of good? Through human consciousness, convince the mortal of his mistake in seeking material means for gaining happiness. Reason is the most active human faculty. Let that inform the sentiments and awaken the man's dormant sense of moral obligation. And by degrees, he will learn the nothingness of the pleasures of human sense and the grandeur and bliss of a spiritual sense, which silences the material or corporeal. Then he not only will be saved, but is saved. Evil thoughts and aims reach no farther and do no more harm than one's belief permits. Evil thoughts, lusts, and malicious purposes cannot go forth like wandering pollen from one human mind to another, finding unsuspected lodgment, if virtue and truth build a strong defense. It is not so much academic education as a moral and spiritual culture which lifts one higher. Man's moral mercury, rising or falling, registers his healing ability and fitness to teach. You should practice well what you know, and you will then advance in proportion to your honesty and fidelity, qualities which ensure success in this science. Moral ignorance or sin affects your demonstration and hinders its approach to the standard in Christian science. You must utilize the moral might of mind in order to walk over the waves of error and support your claims by demonstration. If you are yourself lost in the belief and fear of disease or sin, and if, knowing the remedy, you fail to use the energies of mind in your own behalf, you can exercise little or no power for others' help. First, cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. God selects for the highest service one who has grown into such a fitness for it as renders any abuse of the mission an impossibility. The All-Wise does not bestow his highest trusts upon the unworthy. When he commissions a messenger, it is one who is spiritually near himself. No person can misuse this mental power if he is taught of God to discern it. You command the situation if you understand that mortal existence is a state of self-deception and not the truth of being. Mortal mind is constantly producing on mortal body the results of false opinions, and it will continue to do so until mortal error is deprived of its imaginary powers by truth, which sweeps away the gossamer web of mortal illusion. The most Christian state is one of rectitude and spiritual understanding, and this is best adapted for healing the sick. When the final physical and moral effects of Christian science are fully apprehended, the conflict between truth and error, understanding and belief, science and material sense, foreshadowed by the prophets and inaugurated by Jesus, will cease, and spiritual harmony reign. The lightnings and thunderbolts of error may burst and flash till the cloud is cleared and the tumult dies away in the distance. Then the raindrops of divinity refresh the earth. As St. Paul says, "There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God, of spirit." Man is harmonious when governed by soul. We will now have a moment of silent prayer for our world. Let's now sing hymn number 209. The words of this hymn are by Mary Baker Eddy. O gentle presence, peace and joy and power, O life divine that owns each waiting hour, thou love that guards the nestling's faltering flight, keep thou, my child, on upward wing tonight. Hymn number 209.
and dreams must collide. Someone I am is waiting for courage. The one I want, the one I will become, will catch me. So let me fall if I must fall. I should heed your warnings. I will feel them. Let me fall. If I fall, though your reason may or may not appear, I will dance so freely, holding on to no one. You can only save me if you help me fall away from all these useless fears and someone I am is waiting for my courage. The one I want, the one I will become, will catch me. So let me fall if I must fall. I should heed your warnings. I will feel them. Let me fall. If I fall, there's no reason to miss this one chance, this perfect moment. Just let me
Let's now sing hymn number 267. Our God is all in all. His children cannot fear. See baseless evil fall and know that God is here. Hymn number 267.
Our God is all in all.
I will read from the Christian Science textbook, the Scientific Statement of Being, and the correlative passages from 1 John, 3rd chapter. There is no life, truth, intelligence, nor substance in matter. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation, for God is all in all. Spirit is immortal truth, matter is mortal error. Spirit is the real and eternal, matter is the unreal and temporal. Spirit is God, and man is his image and likeness. Therefore, man is not material, he is spiritual. Behold, what manner of love the Father had bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Unto him be glory in the church by Christ Jesus throughout all ages, world without end. Amen.